What's up, YouTube? It's me again, Dual Killing Anime, coming at you with this video. And this video is going to be talking about a specific topic I just got enthralled with, and it's going to be a part of a series now. This is going to have the context of anime and anime stereotypes. And it's going to be specifically to, I may call it anime stereotypes, but it's going to have anime and manga type story elements and series elements to it. It's going to be called anime stereotypes, and basically it's a combination of anime and stereotypes. Wow, that's so hard to know, but still. It's just telling everything that we just get too congested with and enthralled with when we look at anime and its stereotypes inside of a series. Whether it's inside of a battle manga or a slice of life, shoujo, harem, etc. Anything that I find that's stereotypical of those genres and series of anime / manga, I'm going to point it out, whether they have pros, cons, and whether it just interests me or not. So, this is the first of the video, and I came up with the topic of this video. It's about dumbass main protagonists, like it says in the title. Dumbass main protagonist. And if you're not sure what that means, it's not like I'm saying that the characters as main protagonists in these series suck. It's that I'm saying that the main protagonists in these series are legitimate dumbasses. I mean, like in the intelligence level of a pile of shit with sprinkles put on top of them, you know. They have very little resounding qualities when it comes to their intellect. But when the story comes to fruition, or when the plot needs it, they gain this type of knowledge and wisdom. Like, everybody knows throughout the big three. Ichigo Kurosaki, yes, he's a dumbass. Naruto, Uzumaki, Monkey D. Luffy, but throughout all of anime, whether it be Natsu Dragneel or Father Abel from Trinity Blood, but he acts like a dumbass. This like the dumb, goofy, fun-loving type of character that you get as the main character, who'll be able to set themselves up for the plot. That's what it is, really. And I want to talk about it is because I see it a lot, too frequently when I look at these battle manga, especially. And it's an issue towards me because this the same type of character design, and it's a one-dimensional type of character design. I could hardly see the difference between Ichigo, Luffy, Natsu, and plenty of others that I just mentioned still. What is the initial difference between these characters? And why are there so many of them? I've always came to that conclusion, you know, that there isn't much of a purpose for having them rather than being the fan favorite at the time, or the fun, lovable guys who can get serious quickly. That's my conclusion about why these characters have shown up so frequently in the past 5 to 10 years, and who are so popular with this type of let down, stupid type of main protagonist lane that they were going through. Man, it's crazy because these characters throughout these series aren't able to facilitate the series by their actions. And what I mean by that is some things have to be dumbed down in order for the plot to show continuity, or the character to show continuity, because of their lack of knowledge or their stupidity, or, you know, their actions that don't seem to coincide with the best of intentions for the story. Like how, I mean, for example, Naruto, and, you know, Naruto Shippuden. At the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, Naruto hasn't changed much, and hasn't changed emotionally much from what he was as a child 2.5 years ago, before his initial training period with Jiraiya. And what that does is cost him that time, in my opinion, to gain a needed mass of techniques and ninjutsu and skill. Vice him having to face the sacrifice of Jiraiya's death, and being able to gain power, knowledge, and experience through that death, and going up the stage mode and becoming a more serious type of character, rather than Monkey D. Luffy, who's initially gone through very little character development through the design, and thus the plot of One Piece having to be one-dimensional. Just the guys, or just the Straw Hat crew going from one island to another, one place to another, facing an arc. And it's the same formula every time. They meet this person, you know, on this island or in this place, and they're going to be with them throughout the whole arc. Whether it's a person who's going to be able to join the Straw Hats crew, who's very vital to the story in that arc, or who'll be able to come up later on to help the Straw Hat crew, because you know characters in One Piece don't die. It's just very stereotypical and very one-dimensional for these characters, and for the likeliness of the main protagonist to complement the story, because the main protagonist and these dumbass main protagonists are supposed to be the ones driving the actions of these stories. But if these main protagonists don't have any complexity and are very just simple and have a lack of knowledge inside the story, then the plot has to compensate for that. And usually the plots don't compensate for that well. These characters specifically, I can talk about Natsu Dragneel, who's just really have just irked me with this dumbass main protagonist thing. Okay? Well, I'd always like to say that Natsu Dragneel is the main protagonist of the fairy tale story, while Lucy Heart Ophelia is the actual main character, since she's the one, it's from her perspective and she's narrating it from her point of view. What I'm saying is that Natsu Dragneel, since he's the driving force and he gets the most push from 99.99% of the series, it's the fact that he is just a gung-ho character who's basically the dumbass main protagonist type, who hits with his fist first and thinks later. And what that does for him is makes the story quite falter because of his actions. And it's very dumb, and this can be acquainted to, you know, Hiro Mashima's booking of the story, that he doesn't learn from his mistakes. And his mistakes of that being always going into action, saying that he can beat the enemy first with his fist and using, you know, his strength to have a resolve. But once he doesn't have that strength, there's just some bullshit way up here where he gets a power up, and it's almost in every fight he has, he gets a power up, and he beats the characters without having any specific type of character development. And with this type of story complementing the type of character this individual has, it really suffers, you know, it really suffers the series of Fairy Tail, because it's not believable for the series of Fairy Tail to happen like this. Same thing can go, one thing notably, when he was facing Zancro, and Zancro had that God Flame technique, and it was one of the shittiest moments I could ever tell you was in Fairy Tail, was when Natsu saw Makarov after he lost to Master Hades. And he saw him down there, and after he was getting his ass whooped by Zancro with the God's Flame techniques, then Natsu started to generate fear. And when Natsu generated fear, he started to flashback to what Gildarts said a little bit before during the S-Class trials when he faced Gildarts and lost, that fear is not a weakness. Fear is something that will manifest into something that will make you stronger. I believe something along those lines. What Natsu and what appears Natsu takes that as later, and what he faces with his friends with Master Hades later on, but especially with this fight, is that having fear gives you strength. But what is interpreted through the story is that just for the simple fact that you're afraid, you'll be powerful. And it's counteractive because he still gets a power up. And Naruto. Natsu is still that gung-ho type, fast-paced, fist-first, think-later character, which hasn't changed much due to him learning this opposed lesson of fear. And I'm sure 9 times out of 10, Gildarts did not mean that type of fear for you to go in charge and do the same thing that he was doing during his fights with Gildarts. Just see, and I'm sorry for stuttering, but you know, I'm just thinking a lot. It's continuative. Yes, I'm making up words. Shut the fuck up. It's continuative with the character of Natsu to do so, but it's not continuative with the story to do so, because now it warps this all type of logic with these kids coming up and beating Master Hades, who beated their master Makarov, and doing all this other shit and getting power-ups when you're not supposed to get power-ups, but character development. What the fuck, dude? and it suffers your story from the inside out, because it takes what could be potentially realistic and a very good story into something that just seems, just unrealistic and clusterfucked and fairy tale like, even though I know it's called fairy tale, just not something that can relate to the fan base, in my opinion. Alright, now I'm going to switch over to another side of it and give the pros and cons about these type of characters, because there are goods and there are bads to these type of characters. With the pros, I'll say them right off the back, that these pros are very fun-loving characters. With these dumbass or these not intelligent or these stupid-like characters, they give that type of comedy relief to them. They give that side of humor to them, which makes them very warming to see as characters. And the first introduction to what is the series about to the viewer. And as I'm viewing it, if it wasn't for Luffy's silly and playful side, I wouldn't be able to get half as entertained that I would be in One Piece because of that. And it lightens the mood of the story when I could be able to have that. And at the beginning of the original Naruto series, Naruto Uzumaki himself was a very lightning, prankster-like character. But over time, he got to where he developed a sort of seriousness to him. I'm talking about the original Naruto series, not that Shippuden bullshit. But still, I could say again, Kenichi from History's Strongest Disciple. He wasn't much of the dumbass character. I'd say more of a wimp, but he had his stupid moments. I was warmed up to him because during his initial character development, and he's one of the few characters who are kind of stupid or dumbass-like or not intelligent but got character development. At least with him, you were able to warm up to his good side and his sense of self-righteousness and defending his friends and building strength and working hard, right? All right. With the cons about these type of characters, like I said before, it lessens the complexity of your story due to the main protagonist not having complexity towards themselves. So it basically relies on everyone else who's not important or who's an antagonist in the plot at the time to be able to have a quintessential part of the story. If the main protagonist doesn't bring some type of complexity or some type of third dynamic or second, third, fourth dynamic to the story, then it's not going to be as interesting in watching, someone like Light Yagami who brings a second or third dynamic to the Death Note story, and then you have that other dynamic from L. You can see that type of good plot, but Light Yagami isn't a dumbass main protagonist like most of these battle manga main protagonists are. My personal opinion on these characters, they're fun to watch. I'm very entertained by their antics. Like I said in the pros, they're very fun loving and they make it human. I still watch all these series that I just gave the examples of. But what I'm saying is that it's very hard to watch and keep up with the logic of these series, and sometimes with the character development, when there's no change of this type of dumbass main protagonist like. It's not the problem that these guys are sometimes stupid or slow as main protagonists in the story. It's that these guys stay stupid and slow from the duration of the story. I'd like to be able to see these guys gain some type of knowledge throughout the story, and I think one of the good examples that I have of this is when you see Goku from Dragon Ball, and as he progresses from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, whereas Goku was a fun-loving, playful, not as very intelligent, but somewhat of intelligent human being in Dragon Ball, but it was still a kid. But when it got to Dragon Ball Z, I like to say Dragon Ball Z was when shit got real. And Goku got real too. He got real grown up when he got Chi-Chi pregnant and made a badass baby Gohan, but still, Goku still had a level of playfulness, had a level of character, relatedness to him, a goofiness, but he still had that serious aspect of him. And it wasn't just the serious aspect of him. It was a constant pace of, not from that shy away kitty stuff that we have, or constantly stupid. He gradually grew, and he stuck with the growth of that. And he deviated from his previous transgressions as a sillier, goofier, dumbass main character, or main protagonist, I should say. That's a good example, in my opinion. When you have these characters that don't deviate much from that and who stay to that character formula throughout the series, then we have a problem. Because it's not good for the story later down on the road. My final thoughts on this, since I'll make this video 15, 20, doesn't matter, is that main protagonist, dumbass main protagonist, stupid, goofy, they can be good to a series, but we're using them too much in our battle manga, especially battle manga type series and other types of anime / manga series. And I think we need to cut down on that. I think we need more Light Yagami's of the world. I think we need more Lelouch's of the world. I think we need, you know, just more intelligent type characters, or at least cool and suave type characters that we can get into, or characters with an anti-backstory. Or if you want to go the dumbass main protagonist route, then I suggest you do it over, you know, a short period of time at the beginning of the manga, and then develop them to where the people or the fan base keeping up with the manga can take them more seriously and the story more seriously as the story progresses. Otherwise, the story won't do one of two things. Okay, it will either flop because the fan base doesn't take it seriously enough, or it will suffer because the character isn't taken seriously enough. Okay. You follow that now? And now I have to ask this question to you guys. Do you like the dumbass main protagonist? Really, do you like the fact that there's these silly type of characters who are main protagonists driving the story, and these characters most of the time don't get introspection, and when they do, it's simple-minded introspection, or it's introspection not facilitated by their own thoughts, meaning that their own actions could be facilitated through an event like Jiraiya's death, convincing Naruto to do certain things. But besides that, Naruto didn't have the introspection to say, okay, look, I gotta look beyond these past things, I gotta grow up as a ninja myself, I can't be doing this bullshit anymore, or at least I don't see. So do you like dumbass main protagonist? Do you not like dumbass main protagonist? Comment in that below. Alright, that's the question I have for you guys today. And please, besides comments down in the comment section below, if you have a video response or you have an opinion based on what you've seen in this video, then make a video response, please. That is very much appreciated of you, and it'll say more than what you could say in 500 characters on a YouTube comment. Really. And I don't like reading that much. I like watching, so much prefer to make a video. But if you can't, put it down in the comment section below. Like this video, dislike this video, hey, I don't give a fuck, you're getting my name out there. Share this video if you want others to encourage seeing it. Favorite this video if you want to come back, watch it later if you thought it was very good. This has been Dual Killing Anime. All the content with none of the thriller. Please, just fucked up my own line. Shit! Fucked up my own line. I'll say it again. This has been Dual Killing Anime. All the content with none of the filler. Alright. I'll be saying that for the rest of my videos. All the content just in manga, none of the filler. That's why it's anime. This is Dual Killing Anime, man. I'm killing that shit. Papa, dead. I don't like anime as much as the manga, man. I'm killing that shit. No filler. Damn. One manga. By myself. In my room. Okay, I'm done. I'm out. Just, damn, I'm geeking. Okay. Subscribe. Dual Killing Anime. Peace the fuck out. Alright. Peace.